feel like there's going to be a lot of ships going on. There's people that shipped you in Korg. There's people that shipped you in Valkyrie. Obviously, there's the epic love story of you and Jane. Like, how is Thor's romance?
What is shipping?
Shipping,
people that support, people that say like you two should be
like
together.
standing?
Yeah,
It's like kind of like standing.
But you as a couple.
A couple. It's a couple thing.
Yeah.
Shipping is like two people.
Yeah, relationshipping. So they ship you two as a couple. So yeah, where are your relationships going to be at this week? Is Thor going to be like in a triangle, quadrangle?
You know, there is love in this film across the board. Everyone has a little awakening in one way or another, some shape or form.
Yeah.
And universal love, and love for oneself, love for friends, one for universe, love for community.
And that you can assume some things from the title, but also don't assume.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's tea.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we're going to add another female dynamic into this one.
That just means that we don't know what we're talking about. We're trying to be vague.
We can't tell you anything because
how the film ends is
different than what you might think. But I would say it's the loveliest Marvel movie in the history of Marvel movies. Is that? Can we say that? Or
I think we can.
I think so. It's a romance.
A romantic comedy.
It's a romantic comedy.
It's a romantic
comedy, romantic
dramedy.
tragedy. It's a dramedy. And when we first came up with the ideas for this, like the one thing I had in my mind, the picture I had in my mind was like a Mills and Boon cover of like a romantic book, and I was like, I want it to feel like that, like. You know, at times some like melodrama and like but wanting it to feel and run headfirst into the romance, into the love aspect of it, and not shy away from it, and which I can tend to do in my films as a New Zealander who's cynical and hates everything. I was like, no, I'm going to commit to this, and I make sure that this does satisfy people and satisfy audiences with the romance.
Well then, what do you feel like the Valkyrie-Jane dynamic is going to be like? Because I feel like these two ladies could have infinite sort of energies with each other, and I'm so excited to see what they bring.
I think first and foremost, Valkyrie is someone who's deeply steeped in her love of sisterhood. That sort of and missing that and longing for that, and so having Jane in the universe, I think, is lovely because she kind of has access to that thing again of having a sister. And then I think also it's delicious that she is another version of Thor. I think a big love that Valkyrie has is taking the piss out of her dear friend. And so there's like another opportunity to do that in a way with seeing his counterpart. And
But Chris, for you guys went off and did Ragnarok away from Natalie Portman's character. What was it like for her to come on this set, and then just having the Jane come into this new, I would say, Taika energy of the Thor universe?
Taika-verse.
Yes, Taika-verse. Love it.
It was awesome because the characters are both in very different places to when we saw them last. It was also very open-ended as far as what actually happened, did they break up, who left who, so on. So, and I think we all at one point had to go back and look at the second film and go, how did they split up? So we had the creative license to do whatever we wanted in that sense, and then a lot of fun filling in the blanks and having
and making up the blanks.
And making
more, filling in the blanks, and then inadvertently making more blanks.
And creating even more questions and uncertainty.
That happened.
Well, Taika, did you sit, like Natalie, did you guys have like a dinner together? How did you pitch her to come back into this? Because she was, she's on doing other things, and you guys...
I went to her house and she gave me a glass of water.
That was the whole thing.
And a carrot.
That's all. She, I think that like what we did with Ragnarok was became appealing. It made these movies appealing to other actors as well. Like Christian really, he saw that, he was like, I want to do something fun, and wanted to be part of this thing, and Natalie too. And I think that she was just wanting to make sure that, I don't know how to say this, but like, the character in her character in those first two films is probably not the most exciting version of of a female character that we want from these films, and I had to sort of just talk to her about the fact that I wanted to change that character, just like we'd changed Thor's character for Ragnarok, and to give her a bit more license to be adventurous and fun, because Natalie's a really funny person, and sometimes it's, sometimes those sorts of things cannot be, I know they're not the main focus when they come up with characters and in films.
Yeah. What does Christian bring to the villain into the Thor universe?
Exactly what you'd want, hope, and expect. Nuance, complexity, depth, a sort of quirkiness to it, which I didn't see on the page. And with any sort of classic villain, the fact that you find yourself empathizing or asking questions that they're asking or the ideas that they're posing, it's not just stock standard sort of evil villain.
Yeah, you like root for them sometimes.
Yeah,
him
which is great if you're playing the hero.
Yeah.
Everyone's rooting for the villain. So
I'd say he's the most sympathetic villain they've had. And he's also tested the highest out of any villain that Marvel's had.
Yeah. Well, it's also this thing like that Stan Lee talked about, right? Which is that your trauma is the thing both that makes you a superhero and a villain, right? It's just in the case of a villain, it's unchecked, that your source of pain is what manifests into your villainry. And I think he captures that so well. And he just also was so surprising, like he just would make choices that you'd be like, oh. It just was so fun to watch, and such dexterity, and also what he did with his body, and he's really in it in a way, and the way that you would assume Christian is, but he also has a sense of humor about it. I don't know. It's